Welcome back. I'm Kim Bailey. She's Fuliana Osborne, and this is Inside Exec. Today we're continuing our discussion with Josh Elledge, and we're going to look at how you position yourself as a leader, both individually and in a business sense.
Just in that and watching you over the last half hour or so, you are high energy. What do you do for downtime?
See, I live in Orlando, Florida, and normally I would say, well, I go to Disney World and I go to Universal Studios and SeaWorld. Not so much this year. Well, this year has been a lot of, working around the house kind of stuff, unfortunately. Yeah. No vacations. My wife and I are going to be celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary.
Fabulous.
So
Congratulations.
I love going on. Yes, so we love going on walks and love taking the doggy on walks. And I've got 3 kids and spending time with them. Certainly been streaming a lot of movies, a lot of, normally my wife and I have loved it. We've enjoyed going to the movies, but again, that's another thing we really can't do. So we're just adapting as best we can.
I'm interested too in the switching off phase. So obviously it's your passion, you love what you do, you love the team, you can see that you are making a difference. So do you switch off?
Yeah, my personality type, I really have to take that very seriously. And I think that I'm also at the stage professionally where I really do look forward to turning it off. But I'd say, in the early stages of business, you don't really have that luxury because what you got to do at the beginning is you got to spin things up. Now, eventually, I think the dream is, for many of us, is that we are able to bring other people in, that we're able to build a team. We've got advisors. We've got, lots of people to help kind of run things so that eventually we don't have to work as hard. So I've got a plan, I've got a vision and a purpose for me. I've got one for our clients. Absolutely. And I've got that for our team as well. Like I am really looking forward to being less and less and less involved in operations. And I've got great leaders that allow me that freedom. But again, I'm looking forward to when I can go from 50, 60 hours a week down to 40, then to 30, then 20, and then, be able to take off entire weeks and just be able to go hang out hiking in the woods with my dear wife.
Sounds good.
Another one of the questions that we were interested in is there any other area of work or of service that you would like to pursue if you had that time?
Yeah. So, clearly where I know I need to go is as a leader, I know that my personality type is very much Enneagram type 7. So I do like my variety. I like being able to go and experience new things. From a leadership perspective, I'm very much a visionary. So me teaching, me serving, me going on more and more and more platforms and just giving value and giving it away and trying to change the world for toward a better direction. Like that's why I'm here. So, right now, at the top of the show, is clearly talking about some of my soapbox items. I think that, there's so many foolhardy marketers out there that have really ruined it. Marketers flock to great ideas until they ruin it. So whether it's chatbots or email drip stuff or, any of that nonsense, it's just consumers can see right through that today.
Yep.
And so I just think that it's best that we start lowering the facade and just being much more transparent with people and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. I think it's about respect too. It's respecting that someone is going to hand over money. And so you need to respect not just the money, but the person as well.
It is. Yeah. And if you ever are hearing somebody in sales and or marketing, and they start talking about, well, it's just a numbers game. It's just a numbers game. Doggone it. These are people. These are people just like you. And these are people that are at least, your audience is at least as smart as you are. And in fact, I would argue more so because they're the market. So I'd say, my big passion right now is just getting companies, getting business leaders to honor their audiences and treat them just like they would like to be treated. And just know that, listen, if you wouldn't respond to this email sequence, or you wouldn't respond to this, push notification marketing junk, why would your audience? So if you're wondering why it's not working, it's because of that. Again, the solution is because I want to focus on solutions here, is, again, what I want leaders to, whatever you're doing right now, I want you to do 2 to 4 times more vulnerability. Like I want you to be 2 to 4 times more vulnerable next week, whatever that looks like for you. And by the way, it's not just about sharing your attractive character. So people will come to you maybe for your success or for your confidence or whatever it is, but they'll stick around for your realness, for your vulnerability, for your authenticity, for your, hey, we really struggled with X today. I could really use some suggestions. Right now, we're looking for this. Does anybody have any ideas? Like, that's cool. Or, being able to call out your quote unquote competitors and say, we really like how these guys did this. This is very, very cool. We admire them. Just say, we're kind of geeks on this whole industry like you are. And here's what we like about what they do. It's not what we do. It's a little bit different. But like that level of transparency is just so attractive today.
Josh, on the vulnerability bit, you mentioned in your profile you had a particularly low period way back. Can you please share with us what motivated you during that tough time? How did you keep
which
your
tough
energy?
time? Because I've had a lot.
I think if I just use your words, I think you used it was, I found myself between jobs staring into the abyss of financial ruin. That's a big one.
Yeah. And so I failed in business 6 times. Some of them I failed just a little bit and kind of exited as gracefully as I could. Other times were big blow up in your face. I mean, just bad, where we lost not just one house, but 2 houses, one in a foreclosure, one in a short sale, then declared personal bankruptcy. That was fun. Then had to go live with my in-laws for a year, as a dad, with 2 kids of my own. That's the kind of stuff that I experienced, but I kept at it and I kept learning and I kept getting better at what I was doing. And then finally, I launched Savings Angel, my other company, 13 and a half years ago. And we made over $6 million. And, we'd had 6-figure months, and that's exciting. Like, and it's very humbling, to be able to fail that many times, but you keep getting up, you keep learning. Oh, okay, that didn't work. It's like, why do people hire us to build their B2B sales systems today? Well, it's because we've tried thousands of ways that don't work. And we finally, through the process of elimination, have just figured out, like, so we get this all the time. Like people, we'll have these wonderful brands that'll come to us. They're like, hey, we're selling big ticket. We're selling, to, these influential decision makers or these successful companies, help us out. They'll say, so we're trying this. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can tell you why that's not working. Or they'll say, or they'll come up with ideas while we're working together. And I'll say, I appreciate where you're coming from. Let me tell you, we've already tried it. Here's why that doesn't work. And so that's why you hire consultants and agencies and experts, and you bring experience in, because that experience saves you a lot of time, frustration, and money. It's the business owners, I think, that are trying to do everything themselves that just get frustrated with all the stagnation. They're like, dang, here we are like 3 years and I'm at the exact same point. Well, what's wrong? Well, what's wrong is that you're not making big enough investments into disrupting your current flow. Now, if you only want a lifestyle business, cool. You can have a lifestyle business just working for yourself and providing services. But if you want to scale up so that eventually you could work less, and or you want to get up to those bigger and bigger and bigger numbers, 7 and 8 figure companies, I would suggest that you have to start assembling your team of superstars. Imagine that you're assembling the Justice League or the Avengers, right? You need a Hulk, you need a Thor, you need all those guys. And when everybody coming together, man, it's amazing what you can do as a team.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you.
Josh, we've probably covered all of the questions that we wanted to in that period of time. And I know that by your own admission, you've had your soapbox moment. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you feel is important to share with this particular audience?
Well, one thing I would recommend is that you maybe go spy on me, and without even letting me know you're there, you can go check out what I do, because I think you're going to learn a lot based on, as you're snooping around, looking at how we do what we do. So I talked about using lots of small video everywhere. It's uncomfortable for me, especially in the beginning, to do so much video everywhere. And you're like, oh man, this guy's got videos everywhere. And that's intentional. Like, I want people to spend time with me, and I want them to get so much value that they're like, look, I don't even know what this Josh guy sells, but I want to find, I want him to help me. That sort of thing. You could look at, for example, how we take care of our own branding, and I think which we do pretty well, and how we take care of our digital influence. And so, for example, taking a look at our social media accounts and how we design our profiles, our choices of what I use for like headshots and stuff like that. All this stuff really matters today. And unfortunately, we're being judged based on some pretty superficial stuff today. And so one thing I really encourage people to do is just, mind their digital version of themselves, because it's kind of all we have to go on. It's kind of like in the world of internet business, it's pretty much just like internet. It's pretty much just amplified digital or internet dating.
Yeah.
So you got to have a great dating profile, and you need to have a great business profile. It's the same thing. So everything from LinkedIn to your other social media platforms to your website, it's all fair game in terms of what we're being judged on. And so, we just want to be sure that we take care of that stuff.
Okay. So just on that, because we've had others talk to us about digital imaging and making sure that we protect it, are there platforms that you would recommend for a business if they haven't if they haven't got anything?
Yes. One thing that I would highly recommend for anyone that is customer facing, particularly, C-level executives, if you have some out of focus photo of you wearing a football jersey or whatever it is, right? That's likely not the look that you want to portray. And so, even something as simple as your profile image that's in your email signature, I hope, and that is on all of your social media profiles, guess what? Your investors, your customers, your partners, your employees, your clients, like they're all looking at you and they're making judgments. And so even something as simple as your business profile image, I think you really need to take that very, very seriously. And then, for example, I'm a big fan of LinkedIn, and, something as simple as your LinkedIn profile, like really take a couple of hours. It is worth 2 hours of your time this week or next week to just really build that out. Look at my LinkedIn profile. You can find me, just search Josh, and then my last name is Elledge, Elledge, and just go copy what I do. I'll never know. And I'm happy to inspire copycats. And if it helps you get more business.
Well, just on that, on a personal note, can I say that I think you should update the image that you're using, because you look much younger in today than you do in the image.
Oh, thank you. We'll see. I'm live and I'm moving right now. If you're watching my video, you don't necessarily get the youthful image, and it's still photo. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
My pleasure. Josh, I think we've probably covered everything that we'd like to in this session. So thank you for your time and your generosity in sharing your experiences and your views. We've certainly enjoyed it, and I know that our listeners will.
Josh, I definitely agree. Fantastic.
You know, and I would absolutely love if there's anyone who's listening to our conversation, like if you're doing well in business, you know, again, that's our commitment and our give back is that we would love to feature you to our audience. We've on our podcast, The Thoughtful Entrepreneur, we've got over 100,000 fans on social media, and that's just at upmyinfluence.com/guest. And if you're doing 6 figures or more in business, we would love to have you as a guest. Open invitation, send your friends. We would be thrilled. We want to tell, my goal is to get to 1,000 episodes, and then I'll hang up the headphones. Or pass the baton, I think is the better. I'll pass the headphones to somebody else.
Pass the microphone to someone else. Yes, you do.
Yep, right.
All right, look, we'll put all of those links onto the page when our episodes go live, so people will have the opportunity. If anyone contacts us directly, we'll pass those on. But for now, I'm Kim Bailey. She's Fuliana Osborne. We've been talking with Josh Elledge from upmyinfluence.com. This is Inside Exec.